Alright, Kamigawa is literally just around the corner, so with that in mind, let's look at 11 cards I've decided to choose for, we'll see where I'm going to play them in Niv decks. So we'll start here with Prodigy Prototype, Artifact Vehicle 3/4. Whenever one or more vehicles attack, create a 1/1 colorless pilot that can crew as if it had power 2 or greater. I'm going to put this in tokens, because my goal in tokens is to have 49 different token producing cards in the deck. So pilots are a new one, so this is the card I'm going to slip in there. Next we got Invigorating Hot Spring. It enters the battlefield with 4 1/1 counters on it. Modified creatures have haste, so basically, and remove a 1/1 counter from the Hot Spring and put a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control only once per turn. This is haste enabling for all of our 1/1 counters decks. So Niv to 1/1 counters in Commander, 100%. Strict upgrade over the fiery, the haste card I'm currently running. I don't think it's better than the Riot enchantment, but I do think it's a good inclusion. Definitely. And uncommon, definitely worth it. Gloom Shrieker, enchantment cat. When it enters the battlefield, it's a 2/1. Return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If it would die, exile it instead. This goes straight up into Blink. Like, they know that this is abusable in Blink and reanimated strategies. That's why it's got the exile clause. But this will be a strict improvement over some of the Golgari return permanent effects I currently have, because they are very expensive, and anything that lowers the curve is better. Enthusiastic Mechanaut. I'm going to put this in artifacts, I think, just for fun. Maybe also in flyers, we'll see. Probably not in flyers, to be fair, but it will definitely go in artifacts to try it out. Our next card for enchantments is Satsuki, the Living Law. Tap, put a law counter on each saga you control and activate only as a sorcery. When it dies, choose up to 1. Return a saga to your hand, or return target saga card from your graveyard to your hand. So 100% goes in the enchantment deck. We're going to just have some fun bouncing around enchantments, doubling our sagas. I wish this was instant speed, but it's still going to be good saga support, so I'm definitely going to be putting it in there. Right, Colossal Sky Turtle. So this is a 7 mana, 6/5, flying ward 2 with 2 relevant abilities. Basically discard to get back a Eternal Witness effect, or a channel for a permanent bouncing effect. Creature. I am tempted to put this in my Obosh deck, because it's 7 mana, but it does stuff on the lower curve. I'm also probably going to try it in the flying deck. I'm going to try it in a few other places as well. I want to see how relevant this ability actually is to get stuff back. Particularly in Commander, I think that if you let your Commander die knowing you have this in hand to uncounterable return your Commander to your hand, definitely worth considering. Satoru Uezana. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, look at the top 3 cards of your line, put one of them into your hand, the rest on bottom. So anticipate whenever you activate a ninjutsu ability, and every creature in your hand has ninjutsu 4. Attack deck, 100%. My only goal with this card in the Niv deck, well, my ultimate goal, I should say, is to score a ninjutsuing a Master of Cruelties into play, which will be hilarious and fun. Or I might even put this in my companion deck, where I play companions and things like that, because ninjutsuing in an Obosh or an effect like that, damage doubler, would be sick as heck. Moving along, we have Tamiyo, the completed stage, Phyrexian mana returning. I think this is probably going to see. I'm going to try this in, I believe, in Historic. This is where I'm most excited to try and play this. Tapping something down is always good and relevant. Her ultimate's really no great value, but if I've cast and lost a Niv and I have Tamiyo, I can get my Niv back by casting a full 5-mana Tameo. I think that has play. Also returning a copy of some of the other stuff. I think it's very abusable. But yes, definitely historic. We're going to see this. Spirit Sister's Call. Whenever we get to our end step, choose a permanent card in your graveyard. You may sacrifice a permanent card that shares a type with it. If you do, return it from the graveyard to the battlefield this turn. Again, if this permanent would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. This is a cool enchantment that I think I'm gonna probably, and hear me out, I want to put this in the enchantment deck because it doesn't specify. Like, obviously a lot of people are going to say, oh, you use this to reanimate your big dumb creatures or like something stupid. I would love to use this with the new Living Lore thing to just, okay, sack a saga that's about to go in a useless chapter 3 that I don't care about, and then reanimate another saga with a relevant tier 1 ability. Well, lore counter 1 ability. Next we have Kaitou Shizuki. At the end, beginning of your end step, if it enters the battlefield this turn, it phases out. Draw a card, then discard a card unless you attack this turn. Create an unblockable ninja, and whenever you get an emblem at 7, whenever a creature you control does damage to a player, you may search your library for a blue or black creature card, put that onto the battlefield, then shuffle. It's a 3-mana walker in 2 colors, so I suspect it'll be powerful. I don't think it's game breaking. I don't think it'll break any formats, but it is definitely one that goes on my list of cards I will try in multiple formats. For example, I think I was a big fan of the Royal Scions, and they definitely, and their +1 ability to loot was very good. The fact that Kaitou can actually give me a creature, maybe not a great creature, but something that could do some damage or do some effects that I'm interested in, definitely makes me want to try this guy out, see how it goes. And finally, the card I am most excited for in this set, and I will be trying out in several places, is Hisugu Consumes All. So it's a saga with a Chapter 1, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. Chapter 2, exile all graveyards. Chapter 3, return, exile it and return it transformed. And it becomes a free trample. Whenever it deals damage, put a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever it's dealt 10 or more damage to that player, they lose the game. The fact that this flips into a free body is like very nice and nothing too insane to me. It is chapters 1 and 2 of this card that really make me want to play this. This I'm going to play probably in Pioneer. Well, I don't know so much about Pioneer, but 100% Modern, and I'm going to try it in Historic. You gotta remember, and I've said it before, with like the same with Culling Ritual, this hits every token, every treasure, every little mana dork, every incidental little class, 1 mana class like Ranger class, or 1 mana Soul Ring in Commander. Like, to put it bluntly, this is going in. It's going to be tried in Modern. It's definitely going in Pioneer. I'm going to try it in Historic as well, because a relevant hate card that after 3 turns, turns into a free isn't great, but it definitely probably has a place. In Commander, I am going to be in so much trouble because I'm going to 100% put this in the most optimized Niv Gigantford list. Sagas, 100%. Anything with a control base or something like this. Like I've said it before, Culling Ritual wrecks house. And it wrecks house in Commander because 9 times out of 10 it's the 1 and 0 mana cost stuff that you're taking out. Like Fran players, equipment players, you know. Yeah, this card I think is going to be the Chase Mythic for me. Like, this is the one I want most. This is what I will be 100% praying that I crack in a pre-release pack. But those were my picks. So those are my picks for my Niv Mizzet choices for Kamigawa. Let me know if there's anything I missed or anything you would include. As I said before, these aren't technically the best ones you should look for finance or for trading or anything. These are ones I am most excited to play. So please let me know what you are most excited to play.